Hello, welcome back everyone to the FPL video. My name is Mo and today I'll be going through the player watch list for game week 4. So these are players that I've actually identified since the start of the season over the 3 game weeks and new blockbuster signings or signings over this kind of transfer window that have come into the FPL game itself. So some of them are already in my wildcard, so you can see the team here. I've drafted some players in with the 7 changes I made. In addition, I'll be going through some background stats about alternative players that I'm targeting, I'm looking into potentially bringing in, which considered in 2 factors: A, the fixture swing, and B, I want to see a bit more of how they kind of play with their current form and will they warrant a squad position overall in my squad in the next couple of game weeks. But before we get stuck in to the players that I've identified in the watch list, I want you to just hit that like button if you like the video, and if you haven't hit that subscribe button, hit that subscribe button to help us get to that 1k subscribers mark. So let's not waste any further time and let's get stuck into our watch list. So at number 1 we've got Ferran Torres, playing for Manchester City. The best thing about this guy is, he's in the number 9 position, which hardly any of us kind of actually predicted before the season, because we were all looking at Man City signing Harry Kane. The whole deal didn't go through kind of and broke down. And at the moment, through injury or because to Kevin De Bruyne, he's ended up in the number 9 position for Manchester City. Now, we're all sceptical of the whole Pep roulette, right? We're not too sure, even though he's got such a good start to the season, will he actually even be featuring in the Manchester City squad against Leicester in this game week? So, again, you can never say for certain a player will play for Manchester City because, A, they've got abundance of talent and they have the ability to rotate even players that are in form in any game week themselves. But let's just move away from that and let's just admire the great work this guy has done, or the points he's kind of given back to managers who've had faith in him and they've backed him. So he's got 23 points so far this season, with 10.5% of managers who have him in. I've seen a lot of wildcard drafts that have kind of gone Bruno to Ferran Torres or Jota, and they're kind of upscaled Ings or Antonio to Ronaldo. So that's the kind of general kind of movement that we've seen. And he's got a game against Leicester away. Now, Leicester is not an easy team to play, but we need to remember this is Manchester City at the end of the day, and offensively they can score against anyone on their given day, and they've scored 5 in their last 2 games respectively, against Arsenal and Norwich. So, we can't take anything away from the offensive aspect. And, if we look at some underlying stats, points per match, which is one of my favourite stats, is 7.66, which is remarkable for a player who started at 7 mil. He's gone up in price to 7.1 at the moment, and I feel that with more transfers of him being made in, if he continues this form, it will get higher as the game weeks progress. So they got Southampton the game week after, a bit of a difficult patch with Chelsea and Liverpool back to back in 6 and 7, but from game week 8 onwards they again have a really nice fixture run moving on. But we look at some stats of like XG and XA, so expected goals and expected assists, but we need to know so far he's got 2 goals and 1 assist, so we'll look at the tracker as well. So 2.09 is his XG and XA is 0.02. So again, phenomenal in terms of goal scoring. He's in good form, and I think he'll obviously get the service with the abundance of talent that they have on the pitch in terms of Mahrez, Sterling, Grealish. I can go through the whole Man City squad, and if he is playing number 9, why not have such a great prospect with, not too much of a price investment. So again, he's on my watch list at the moment. He's not in my wild card, but I want to see a bit more around him. If he gets the regular minutes, maybe after the Liverpool game in game week 7, he may have gone up in price. We never know. I kind of have a more of a clear indication with the Champions League and other cup competitions going on. Does he kind of play week in, week out for Man City? Plus, if Kevin De Bruyne is back by then, which we don't have a return date for him, I'll be interested to see how this affects him in terms of A, positioning of the pitch. Will Kevin De Bruyne slot into number 9, or will he still stay there? Which, if Pep Guardiola backs him and kind of trusts his form, that's understandable as well. But also, will his minutes be affected in the Premier League itself because of Kevin De Bruyne? So there's a lot of things I want to consider at the moment, but we can definitely consider him after game week 7, after all the, kind of, I would say, reservations that I do have currently. But again, a phenomenal start, and he is on the player watch list. And, I would not be surprised if you have gone for him. It's a wise move, and I don't think it's too risky if you have a good bench. So just in case he does get rotated and doesn't feature, you at least know you got someone to come on reliably to come on and cover those points for you. Now, moving on to Nelson Semedo. So I haven't seen much of him personally. I've watched him in the last 2 games, so against Spurs and Manchester United. He played really well, and I think Wolves have one of the best fixture runs in the next 5 game weeks. So they start with Watford away, Brentford at home, Southampton away, and Newcastle at home, followed by Villa at Villa Park. So again, some really good fixtures for them to really take advantage of. So a lot of Wolves players are like really, I'd say popular aspects or assets at the moment for wildcarders, especially who are looking to bring in or doubling up or even tripling up in some cases with Wolves. So at the moment, he has 1.8% of ownership, 4 points so far, so 2 points in each game. Now, in terms of points per match, there's only 2 points per match, but generally I saw some real good positioning from him. He likes to get forward, and I can see some clean sheets there as well from Wolves. They have been really attractive to watch. It's just a shame they haven't got any points on the board, but they easily could have won against Spurs and Manchester United, or at least come away with a draw. So I can see some clean sheets perspective as well, and he's 4.9 mil, which is not a bad price. So if you're looking to really have a cheap option in a defender, then this guy can be your player to consider. Again, in terms of XG, expected goals, is only 0.04 and 0.21 for expected assists. But last season, he had 1 goal and 3 assists. Can he replicate that? I think he can. Can he better it? Most certainly. If he continues to grow and develop and he gets the minutes, I don't see a reason why not. So Nelson Semedo is someone I'm considering. If he does perform well with those fixtures, I may even be tempted to swap him just for Luke Shaw, because United's fixtures do get a bit more difficult as the game weeks progress. So I've got my eye on him. He's a player that I'm watching, and he's definitely in my reckoning to be coming into my squad, maybe in a couple of game weeks' time. Now we'll look at Everton. So Demarai Gray, a really good option. Started off at 5.5 mil. He's gone up to 5.6 mil in price due to form and ownership. So managers have brought him in. I generally don't favour 5.5 million midfielders, because I feel that they're not strong enough to really warrant a space in your starting 11, because it weakens your squad overall. But, having a 5.5 on your bench not playing, I think you could maybe lower that to a 4.5 and use that 1 million, more wisely on your starting 11. But this guy has kind of proven my kind of theory on 5.5 million midfielders. I wouldn't say incorrect, but he's challenged it in a very positive way. And what I can see from him, with the fixtures he's got coming up, with Burnley at home, Villa away, Norwich at home, United and West Ham look a bit more challenging. But Benitez has got him on the wing, and I know it all goes centrally through Dominic Calvert-Lewin, but Richarlison and Gray on either side. For 2 million less, you've got Gray, who they brought for like a 1.4 mil, which is a bargain. He's a Benitez player, so he will get minutes. I don't see anyone else really challenging him for his spot. So we can be quite hopeful. I'm definitely going to be looking out for him. So if he does play well, there's no reason why I can't, downgrade like a Shaw or maybe a Reguilon, for example, and bring in a 3-4-3 formation with Demarai Gray in there. So that's another possibility I'm looking at. But yet again, I want to wait and see, because I'm quite content with the wild card I've played. But he's definitely in the reckoning, guys. And in terms of his so far performance, 6.7% ownership so far, 19 points, or not 20, 6.33 points per game. Let's look at his stats. He's got 2 goals with 0.28 expected goals and 0.29 expected assists. So that's not bad numbers for the price that we're buying him for. Again, the fixtures do look good, and even after those 2 game week fixtures, they have 2 nice fixtures before game week 11, which I think will be a great chance for him to get him in. Offensively, I think he can still score against Manchester United and West Ham respectively. But for 5.6 mil, if I can see a bit more, consistency around him, he's definitely worth considering in terms of a fantasy player watch list and bringing in point of view as well. Now, of course, Mr. FPL King himself so far of the game. So the highest point scorer, Michail Antonio, 40 points so far. Ownership has hit 50% already at the time of recording of this video. Points per game, let's have a look, 13.3%. And, expected goals, he's scored 4 goals, 3.31. His 4 assists, expected assists is 1.48. Now, those are insane stats so early on in the season. But we look at their fixtures, they're not too bad, to be fair. Southampton away, so a really good captaincy option as well. He might be a differential option this weekend, despite having such high ownership. People may jump on the bandwagon of Salah or Ronaldo, who have respective games against Leeds and Newcastle, and Lukaku, for example, against Aston Villa. So he might be one of the most popular captaincy choices, but not the most popular out of those 4. So we'll have to wait and see. He's in my squad. And again, with the games after Manchester United, Leeds, Brentford and Everton, he certainly can challenge their defences and he can carry on this form. So he's not only just scoring, he's actually getting involved in terms of the good setup of the whole gameplay as well for West Ham. So a really good prospect. Fingers crossed he stays fit. European football starting as well. So maybe, Thursday, Sunday, Will it be enough time for him to kind of recover? We'll just have to wait and see. But again, a great start. And if you haven't got him into your squad, and I think if he scores a few more goals, this guy's ownership can go past 60 or maybe even 70%, because, you know, he has had that much of an impact so far this season, and he's so good when fit. But again, the only concern is his injury and how match fit he can stay with the whole European competition and Thursday, Sunday game week fixtures as well. Now, Cristiano Ronaldo, so Mr. Blockbuster himself, he's finally arrived. It's happened. You know, managers are getting him in. At the moment, he's got around 15.6% of managers in. Obviously, there's no stats for us to go by. But let's just have a look at his next 5 fixtures. So Newcastle at home. Yes, there was some news today from The Sun. I don't really trust The Sun generally. It might just be to sell more papers. I'm not too sure. But they've released a statement around, you know, quarantine rules, and will he only have one session of training? Will he be match fit? This guy's Ronaldo. You know, he's not, you know, any average or normal footballer. This guy's one of the best in the world. And on top of that, he's one of the most fittest footballers. Despite his age, what his critics may say, he's absolutely in prestige shape even at his age. I think he can be ready in one game week. You know, he can prove that. He'll be eager to get started. Unless there's a quarantine issue, Ollie will kind of clarify that over the next couple of days for us. But if he's playing and he's starting, wow, he's on my captaincy armband at the moment. But obviously, I'll get more understanding around that. And if he is going to be 50-50 or just off the bench, I may just revert back to Salah for this game week. But against Newcastle, one of the most leakiest defence in the league, along with Arsenal. But, you know, I just can't see me going in this game without him being captain. And, you know, I do believe that, you know, the midfielder should get the captaincy because of the clean sheet extra point, which could become an extra 2. But it's just too good to be true. The dream's coming true. He's returning home, and I just want to captain him for this game week. And he's got some decent fixtures after that. West Ham away, Villa at home, Everton at home, and Leicester away. They do seem difficult. They are difficult on paper, but at the end of the day, this is Cristiano Ronaldo. He will take United to the next level, and FPL managers just need to trust. I think, you know, if he does come away with a good return, despite playing West Ham in game week 5, he will get high ownership. He will get a lot of transfers in. People just want to wait and see and play their wild card maybe in game week 7 and so, but that's United's fixtures when they become more difficult. I'm ready to play him because at the end of the day, I think he can score and get points against any opposition that he plays in this league. We'll now move on to Mo Salah. So obviously one of the most prolific point scorers over the last couple of seasons, broke the 300 points mark a few seasons ago, always there or thereabouts with 20, 25, 30 goals a season and assists to go with there as well. Leeds this weekend, a really good fixture for them in terms of Liverpool because they like to attack and Leeds do as well. So it'll be an open game. I don't want to put any mockers or jinx on it. It won't be a 0-0, for example. They won 4-3 last season against Leeds in the opening game and he got a hat-trick. So every reason why, you know, he can actually, you know, be a really good prospect against a shaky defence, I would say. They conceded 5 against Manchester United at Old Trafford, so Liverpool can, you know, really exploit their aggression and really test their defence on that weekend itself. So Mo Salah again is a captaincy choice as well. He'll probably be one of the most popular picks as well. But look at the game week fixtures after that. Despite Man City in game week 7, Palace at home in 5, game week 6 Brentford away, and game week 8 Watford away. So he's playing 2 of the promoted championship sides. Yes, they're away games, but still they should be somewhat reasonable for Liverpool to come away with some points. And I'd say, you know, for Salah to get some really good returns in FPL point of view as well. So if we look at him generally in terms of his so far contributions, Salah himself, so we look at his underlying stats, 2 goals and 2 assists with 30 points, and 53.1% of managers have him in their squad at this moment. So there is around, you know, nearly 1 million managers who've got rid of him, I think. I just don't know why. With those fixtures runs coming up, I really would like to know what their thought process are. They're kind of using them elsewhere in terms of Ronaldo, Lukaku, Son. I really would like to know where those funds have been invested because I can't see my squad without this guy. Especially at this part of the season or any part of the season. Obviously, the African Cup of Nations will come at one point, but we can think about it near January or closer to the point as well. Last but not least, another blockbuster signing of this transfer window is Romelu Lukaku. So yes, I'm kind of going through the obvious now, and I've gone through these guys in previous videos around their stats and stuff, but we've gone through, you know, other players I'm considering. I haven't brought him into my squad this week. I've transferred him out. Due to my wildcard, I've gone for Ronaldo instead. But he's got Aston Villa at home, so he might be a good option for captaincy if you've got him in your squad. So far, 21.4% of managers have him in. In terms of overall stats we can look at for him, So 1 goal. Expected goals at the moment is 2 exactly, and he's got no assists, and points per game, he's on 5 points per game with 0.72 expected assists. So again, this guy is brought in for a reason to score goals, and the way he started off in the first 2 games, Arsenal, Liverpool, played really well. He's done the job he needed to do, and I think there will be games where he'll go big. And you can see the fixtures there. Obviously, Tottenham and Man City may be the 2 difficult games, but again, are we overlooking it? We can't really dismiss him. He's not going to score. But then after that, game week 7 is where the real good fixtures for Chelsea start. So I can actually see myself maybe doubling up on some Chelsea players then. Southampton home, Brentford away, and then some other fixtures will follow along with it. And this guy's, he's been brought to play, as Tuchel said in his first interview. He's not going to be on the bench, nearly being brought for £100 million. But, he's come back, he's fitter, he's, more hungry. You can see the desire that he shows. He's willing to work hard for the team. And he will bang in the goals with the points as well. I think he'll hit 25 goals this season. If Ronaldo hadn't joined, he definitely would have stayed into my squad for the rest of the season. But if I had to put the 2 against each other, I just can't see myself having Lukaku over Ronaldo at this moment in time, despite the fixtures if they change in game week 7. So I can really review that aspect then, free up £1 million and use that elsewhere in my squad. So these are the players that I've highlighted. These are kind of like the players for me who I'm watching at the moment, who I've seen and I've brought in, or who I have my plans around in the next 5 game weeks in terms of transfers, based on their fixture swings and current form itself. So have a look at this list. Let me know what your thoughts are. Are the players that you guys are looking at or you're looking to bring in? Let me know. Have I not talked about a player that you're looking at the moment? Let me know in the comment section as well. If you haven't subscribed to FPL INKLING, hit that subscribe button, hit the like button, join the league code which is underneath my screen. Help me get to that 1K subscribers mark. Until then, I want you guys to stay tuned. Look out for some more content and take care of yourself. I'll be back with some more content very soon.